Hello, everybody. Happy July 7th. And I hope you had a nice 4th of July. We did. I wish it wasn't so hot. And then we've had some rain, but just enough to make it extremely humid. So, in fact, my hair is still damp because just getting ready for the show, I, I got sweaty hair. So anyway, it is so good. Oh, is Polly here today? Hi, Polly. I know what Polly wants to see. Here's the other Polly. Polly, come here. Come here. Up. Come here. Come here. Come here. Up. Can you stand up? No, I'll bring the camera to her. Polly, say hi. You want to sing happy birthday? Want to sing happy birthday to you? Nope. She's shy. But there's our Polly girl. Her mommy's coming anytime to get her. She does look good. I'm so tickled. Polly Woggy. Where'd Polly go? Polly Wog. Oh, I think she went back upstairs. I have a feeling we've put all of her stuff. She's a very smart dog. We've put all of her stuff by the front door, so she knows what that means. She is on lookout for Mama right now. It's like I like coming to Nana's and Grandpa's, and they give me treats and lots of love. But where's Mommy? So I understand. So hello, everyone, and we got two Pollys here. We got Polly Thompson, and we have Polly the grand dog. So everybody's doing good. She caught some kind of tummy bug that dogs might get. And Becky's boyfriend has a dog who they spend a lot of time with, and both dogs got sick. So we don't know if they just picked up something out in the yard or what. But Becky ended up taking her to the vet and getting medication for her. They couldn't really tell. But Holly is 11 years old. So Becky's very careful with her. And I understand the worry. So she was going to leave her daughter, who is almost 20. Oh my gosh, my granddaughter's almost 20. And she was going to leave her with her, but Charlie was working long hours and was exhausted. And so when she made her scrambled eggs and she still wouldn't eat, Polly, Charlie got a little overwhelmed, and Mom's out of town, and she knows how much Mom loves her dog. So they were back and forth on the phone, and Becky asked us, could we take Polly? And we said, sure. And that way Charlie could get some good sleep. Because, when you're 20, a sick dog or sick anything can be overwhelming. Boy, do I remember. So anyway, Polly's been with us since around lunchtime Thursday. And thank you. I'm sorry I had to cancel my art quilt Thursday, but all of this just ate up the time I had to prepare for the show. So we will do art quilt this Thursday. Actually, it was Friday. No, she came over Friday because the art quilt was pushed back a day because of July 4th. So that's what it was. Yeah, I'm clear as a bell. But I've got something very fun to show you. But first, we'll talk about a couple things. But thank you for being patient. Thank you for caring about Polly. And Polly's very special to all of us. But as you can see, and we can't take credit, although we gave her lots of love and lots of attention. And on Thursday, I just sat on the couch with her all day and just loving on her. And it's funny, she kept looking at me, and finally I went, she's hungry. So I got up and got a pouch, which they love the pouch food to go with their kibble. And oh boy. And so from then on, she's been eating, and it's been wonderful. So, but Becky takes such good care of her. We didn't want anything to happen. And Becky and the boyfriend went to Savannah, and it was beautiful there, but hot as you can imagine. So she said, yeah, we kind of had to, you know, go out for a little bit and come back into the air conditioning. But I hope they had a wonderful time. And Andy, we love him to bits. He is such a great guy. And so we're real tickled. So they had a very good trip, and Becky should be by to get Polly in a little while. And Mark was going to go for a motorcycle ride, but with this, you know, rainy, soggy weather, not a good day to go. I want to see who's here because I'm seeing all kinds of names pop up. There's our Carol. Oh, look at all these people. Marcia, hi, sweetheart. I was hoping Marcia got my notice the other day because I thought I need to contact her and make sure she knows. So I hope it went through. Sometimes lately, my text messages haven't been going through and my emails sometimes. So I don't know what in the world I don't know what in the world my internet service is doing. But anyway, so Marsha's here. There's Vicky. Josos is here. There's our Bonnie. Susan, hello, hon. Laura, hi. How is my Laura doing? Gosh, it's so good to see all of you. Quilt Squirrel, Jody's here. Wait, you've probably already seen it, but oh my gosh, Vincent is pretty much done, I think. It's amazing. Wait till you see. In fact, because of Charlene Lawson and Melanie and Jody and a couple others, I've got some great new show and tell pictures for you. Yay! Now let's see. Carol's here. Hi, Miss Carol. So good to see you. Miss Carol does slow stitching, and it's really fascinating. And I loved her shows. And hopefully we'll see if she starts something else. But they're just so relaxing. And it's not about how fast can I get things done. It's about how can I sew in a way that soothes my soul and creates something of beauty, kind of. And the way she does her journals and stuff, kind of like I was here and it was a great life. And I love that philosophy. So she's on to a really good thing. When I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, I think, might be time to try Carol. So, but I'm so glad she's here. Charlene Lawson of all the pictures. Yay. Oh, she's had fun. She was up in Massachusetts for quite a while, 6 weeks or so. And oh gosh, some pictures of the grandson. He is adorable. I remember when that baby was born, and now here he is, a little person, and he's so cute. And a redhead too. Love my redheads. So, okay, it is so good to see all of you. And of course, Miss Polly. Oh, this is wonderful to see you. And I'm glad that Polly the dog didn't have to keep taking her medicine because they made her real dopey. So, but now she's not on any medicine. It's great. So she's doing much better. But I tell you what, when an older dog stops eating, it's very worrisome. So, Betty Meisner is here. How wonderful to see you. Yay. Oh, it is so good to see all of you. This is wonderful. You love an Irish redhead. Yeah, my son, we're not Irish, but he was born a redhead. And it's gradually darkened where now it's kind of a dark auburn. And but I always knew it could be because I was very fair and his birth father was very dark. So we knew that there was a chance. But and that's wonderful. Well, I'm so glad to see you. Okay. Oh, we'll start out because I wrote my agenda. So if you see me peeking, I'm just looking at my agenda to make sure that I'm on track. In fact, I told my daughter, Becky, I said, I'm sorry I won't be able to visit with you, but I got a full show today. So remember the paper beads that I was working on that I showed you last week? Well, I took some time to finish them. So hopefully I'm trying to, yeah, you can see how they've got the triple thick on them. And this was a piece of junk mail that then I took Sharpie markers and made my own Zentangle. So that's those. And then here is the necklace that goes with it. And in my bead container, I had these frosted glass beads. And so I took turns with the frosted glass beads to kind of mix and mingle with the necklace. So now I have a bracelet and a necklace of those. So I thought that was fun because a lot of people have said, what do you do with the beads once you make them? Well, I enjoy making them so much and I stay so busy, often I don't finish them. But I always think one day, then these are really pretty. These were the marbleized little papers that I ended up putting a strip on the end of each junk mail paper. And that way you only need 2 inches of pretty paper because by the time you just need it to cover the outside edge. And these I took and dipped in a gold paint to finish off the end. So I put little gold beads on this one. And here is the necklace for that. And I'm going to take this to my doctor. She noticed the paper beads that I wore to my last visit. And she said, I just can't believe they're paper. And the fact that she got tickled about them, I'm going to take it to her. And one thing I love about the paper bead necklaces and bracelets is they're so lightweight. They are so easy. You like the addition of the gold beads. There were some of the gold beads were a little bit small and would tend to slip into the end of the other beads. So I did have some larger beads to put on when the end of the bead was a little big. But I just think that's really pretty. So I'm getting better at it and I'm really happy with it. All right, so let me put that out of the way. But I just thought I would, take the paper bead to conclusion to show you there is some worth to, because mainly I do it because it's fun, but there is some value in doing it. Okay, so I was sitting there doing my agenda and I was typing in the new things and looking at the things that were already there. And I said, oh, I've got to remind them that our class is going to be coming up soon. It's July 15th through the 19th. And I went, oh, that's a week away. And so I've been kind of slack on getting out my quilt and planning for it because I kept thinking that's midsummer. Well, guess what? It's midsummer. So I will. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I will be. You know what, Laura? Just I noticed she said the gold paint is a nice touch. I used to try to take a marker and fill in. Then I looked into buying these little metal things that fit into the end. They're expensive. And so what I then said, you know what? What about paint? And I dip them. I just hold it and barely touch it into the paint, then put it on the little toothpick to dry. And there we go. It covers up the paper ends, gives it a uniform look, and it's easy and cheap. Because I am cheap. So but anyway, so this week I told Mark, don't expect to see much of me. I've got to finish cleaning this room. And then I've got to find all of my stuff to do the storm at sea. This next week's class is going to be storm at sea. A lot of people have a storm at sea to finish. If you want to learn to make a storm of sea, Frugal, not cheap. But are you sure, Susan? But hi, Lisa, and Pat is here too. Yay! Oh, this is so good. And well, what I wanted to tell you, let's say you don't want to start making a new quilt. It's hot summer. I understand. So I'm going to tell you, I am going to put on our group site, I'm going to put every day a link to that day's class. I'm planning on the classes to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., somewhere in there. We might end a little early, if we're tired and there's not much to talk about. But if you want to come sit with us and talk, because the nice thing is that you don't have to work on the same project. You can just sew and we'll just sit and have a quilt bee together. And you don't have to type. If you want to, you can put your photograph, you can do it live so that we can see you and talk to you. Or if you don't want to brush your hair that day, you don't have to put your photo up. But this is what we're going to do. Now, some of you might say, well, that's great, but I can't be there during the day to do this. We're going to record these, and then I'm going to put them on my private YouTube. And that way, if you can't be there, just send me an email. And um, I think who? Oh, oh my gosh! I thought we had a hassler, but it's not. A Chaz Foster. That is Andy, Becky's boyfriend. And so they must have made it back to his house. And oh, that's so cute, because I thought, oh, we have somebody who's going to just bother us or harass us. And it's Andy. So everybody say hi to Andy. That is Becky's boyfriend. And because he teased me, I'm going to tease him back. Hold on. And if you ever want to know, send meatball subs to him. He's very fond of meatball subs. Oh, gosh. But he's so much fun. Ever since we've met him, he's just been so much fun to be around. There they are at the beach in Savannah. Ha ha! So they had a good time, but we love him being part of the family. What a nice guy, and funny, and together. You know, he and Mark remind me that there are nice guys out there. So you just have to be open to them. So Andy's getting a really good welcome. So, and Polly's she's been eating like a fiend. So tell Becky she's probably going to have to give her plenty of food. It's like she didn't eat for a couple of days, so now she's starving. And I've forgotten again Andy's dog's name, but he has a wonderful dog. And I'll give you a little hint. Andy is a very conscientious daddy. He takes such good care of that dog. So, okay, great. Up, Seiko, like the clock. Watch, Seiko. I'm terrible with names. Terrible with names. Funny, together, and handsome. Yeah, that's. We were sitting there with Becky. We all went out to dinner to first meet him, and I was sitting across from him, and I said, "You're really handsome." Luckily, Becky didn't go, oh my God. I think she had warned him. My mom, sometimes these things just pop right out. But anyway, but what a nice guy he is. And I'm hoping Seiko did well while you were gone, and Seiko's feeling better. So, oh, that is neat. But oh, I've got another dog story to tell you. My other daughter, Katie, right before our wedding, they had to or right around the time of our wedding, they had to put their 12-year-old dog down, and Buford, and that was really hard for her. Well, July 4th, she brought home a new puppy. And so her and her husband went and picked out the puppy, and his name is Tater. So, anyway, but his name is Tater, and he's cute as can be. So, she said so far he's being really good, and um, she said that Tater is being really good. He's learning his tricks, and she hasn't regretted too much getting a new puppy. You know how it's great to get excited about a new puppy, and then you bring it home and it proceeds to chew everything and potty. But so far he's good. He's even learned to bat the bell to go outside. So that's pretty good for a little guy. In fact, you probably would like to see him too. So sorry about this. For any of you that said, hey, I just want to learn about quilting, but okay. Oh, look at these bagels my daughter made out of sourdough starter. Oh, does that look yummy or what? And then, where is this cutest? Oh no, where are the puppy pictures? Ah, I have, oh, here's her dog, Henry, and there's the puppy laying on Henry. Is that cute? So that's Henry and Tater. Isn't that cute? And so I'm so happy. They love their dogs, love their dogs. And so he's absolutely adorable. Here he is again. So we got a new grand doggy in the house. And you know, we love grand doggies. Love, love, love them. All right. So I am going to be very busy down here getting this room cleaned. Andy has seen how what a mess this is. And I've started a lot, but I need to get it done. I will promise I'll find my Storm at Sea quilt that I'm going to finish. And the only reason it didn't get finished 12 years ago is because I used 29 fabrics with it instead of 3. Please, but I'm going to get it finished now because of you. And so come and visit us. Let's say, oh, I think I forgot to write. My email is our time to, quilt at pwc.com. And feel free to send a picture of your pet, because you know we all love these little fur babies. So, and whether they're kitty cats or dogs, that is great. But that's my email address. Now, if you can't make the live class, and like I said, I'm going to have it recorded, then as long as I know who you are and you're willing to join our group's IO, I will then send you that recording. And the reason I make it so that you have to be a member of our group, because everybody is just relaxing and enjoying themselves. I don't put it out for the entire public. It's one thing if I reveal things about my life, but I don't want all of you to feel like you have to reveal things about your life. So I hope that makes sense. And don't worry if you can't. Don't worry if you can't be here. It will be recorded. You can catch up on it in the evening. So, because we know everybody's got busy lives. All right. I was having so much fun this week with my color wash blocks, but there was a problem. I messed up. I started to say the F word, but no, let's don't do that. But I messed up my sewing machine. I was sitting there sewing, and sometimes on this one machine, the thread will pop out of the top, the part that moves up and down. I should know what that part is, but I don't. And so when that happens, it starts to make a bird's nest. Things get tangled down in the bobbin. Well, it seemed like it was starting to happen. So I did the right thing. I was mature for once, and I took off the plate on the machine. I got my sharp handy vacuum. I vacuumed all inside, vacuumed the bobbin, vacuumed up where the light bulb is, everything. Put it back together, and it started to do it again. And I got frustrated, and I thought, wait a minute. I looked, and the thread was in that top looper. No, it's not a looper, but anyway, the thread was in that. Becky's probably here, so you might hear hey, the little dog. We have had to start cracking down on all this barking. It's driving me nuts. But anyway, um, but I saw that the thread was in it. I thought, oh, and I just put my foot down on the pedal. Not smart, but I might have been a little frustrated. And guess what? Threw off the timing. So now when you try to sew, it sounds like I went, oh my gosh. So I couldn't believe it. Don't lose your temper with your sewing machine because you're not going to win. And it's not going to learn a lesson. So I've got to take my machine in tomorrow and have it fixed. And I have 3 machines here. The one Juki, Polly will understand me here, is this one Juki. Since I bought it, it has been in the shop more than it's been used. So I'm going to talk to him. He's a dealer. And I'm going to say, look, can you talk to Juki? I don't know what to do with this machine. Right now, it's a boat anchor. And then I will have him set the timing on my other Juki. But here, this Elna that I've had for 18 years and was going to sell for $350. So glad I held on to that. It keeps on going. So out of 3 machines, it's the only one still working. So Mark said, honey, I'm going to retire soon. You need to get your sewing machine situation straight. Because if you have to buy another one, let's buy it before I retire. It's like, oh, gosh, I don't even want to think about that. But you know how expensive sewing machines are now. So, but if I did, I do like the big long arm on an Elna. I do like getting a quilt machine. The both of the Jukis are really more like travel machines, and I kind of miss having that space under the heart of the machine. So I've got tomorrow. I'm going to be going out. I'm going to try to do it early because this hot, humid weather. Right now, I can't see out my windows. It is so well. Let me show you. It is absolutely steamy. So see that? Isn't that ridiculous? And then while I'm making you nauseous here, let's look at this one. I mean, it's just pure steam. So anyway, but I'll run out, take the machine to get it repaired. I am happy with the man who does it. So I'm glad. And I'm gonna take the other one. And before I carry it in though, I'm gonna say, I'm having this, I've got a lemon. And can you help me with Juki? I don't know. What can we do? Because as of right now, it's just sitting on the floor doing nothing. You love my curtains? Oh, thank you. When I repainted the room 6 years ago, right before I started the channel, I found that fabric, and it was from a type of fabric called chalk paint. I wish I had kept a selvage. And oh, by the way, pet peeve, it's selvage, not salvage. Selvage. Just thought I'd let you know because I was watching something one day and somebody kept saying salvage, salvage. And I thought, no, it's not salvage, it's selvage. So, salvage is what you do when you try to clean garbage and do something with it. And selvage is the edge of the fabric. And selvages are so strong because the shuttle goes, weaves all the way down, goes over, comes, weaves all the way back. So you've got that loop there that protects the edge. So You're always salvaging. Marsha, you're so cute. Oh, you y'all are something. So the tension bar. Thank you, Susan. Oh my gosh. I knew it had to have some, you know, an official name because it's very important. And you're right. It does do, you have that flip, the thread flip out of that, you instantly have a bird's nest. Okay, so I've been having great fun this week. I have been working very hard on my color wash quilts. And remember, I put on the site, I put a graph paper that I wrote information on for my colors. Then I sat down and looked at my inspiration quilt and I wrote because that's the one I really like. And I'll show it to you again when we do show and tell. That's the one I really like. And so I wrote each block, what color is in that block? And I wrote myself out a key where black is just B, blue is BL, so on and so on. And then I even had to write some blocks are half and half. Some blocks, half is green, half is yellow. And I have to pay attention to what half is supposed to be what. So I have now made 70 blocks. And I only now have 180 more to go. 185 more to go. Mark's like, oh my gosh, I think it gives him a headache. But I'll show you these in a minute, but I'm loving this. To me, this is playtime. It's like a little kid and a box of crayons and some paper. So what I did after I did this chart, and I just looked at the inspiration and wrote it down. Looked at the inspiration and wrote it down. Wrote it down. And here you can see up close. Well, if I had to follow this, it would give me a headache. So, thank you, Marcia. Um, the outside steam. Oh, I don't go out. I have asthma. So, going out tomorrow to take sewing machines is going to be as much as I can handle. But what I did then is I said, okay, let's give a breakdown of what blocks I need to make. So, out of black, do I have to make a black dark green or black dark blue or a black dark red? Put that many down. Oh, and I can now, I'm so excited. Every bit of forward progress. When you're doing a project this big, every bit of forward progress is good. So I just took and crossed off my one black block because here it is. And so what I did is I wrote down all the colors from the chart that I saw. I would go row by row. And then I would write down how many. And so now I have an overview. And so you can see on some of them, I've done it like green. I have all 17 of my greens. I want this. I'm excited about this quilt. Yes, it's a scrappy quilt. Yes, you could say, oh, it's just, leftovers, not very good, whatever. No, this is going to be a very special quilt. And I'm going to enjoy this. So I want to do the best job with it I can. So I'm going to show you now how I trim it down. And here we go. Okay. So I keep this by my sewing machine if I sew upstairs, I keep this right beside the iron. Speaking of iron, nope, I did iron it, but I did forget. I like to starch them. Once I've made them, I give it a little bit of starch. Normally, try to I gotta let the iron heat up. So let the starch settle in. If you get white flakies on your fabric when you iron, it's because you haven't let the starch sink in. And I decided, since this was going to be the black block, to put a dark heart in the middle. All right, let's see. Let's see if it's gotten hot enough that it will set that starch. All right. Do you remember? I remember my mother spraying starch on something that she had to iron, then wrapping it in plastic and putting it in the freezer or the refrigerator to let the starch soak in, and then she'd go ahead and iron it. Now I have a wooden iron which you can always use. It's just nice every piece you put on to kind of flatten it before you put the next one. So, okay, I think how much I like turning the ruler slightly crooked. This is a 4.5 inch ruler, and the block is supposed to finish at 4.5 inches. So that's right, perfect. All right, so let me open. Oh, and I went upstairs and Mark got the cutter screw off, and I ran it with my trimmer sharpener, and guess what? It's sharp again. I tell you, I will keep using a blade till it can't be sharpened anymore. All right. Whoops. Let me make sure. Sometimes I need to put those non-slide or those non-slip pads on the bottom of this ruler because it tends to want to slide. Now, pieces this big, I will save for my scraps. This side will get thrown away. Now, here is my perfect 4.5 inch block. And since you do remember, Charlene, and we talked about the little sprinkler tips that you put on an end of a Coke bottle to sprinkle the clothes. And so here is my 4.5 inch block. And because I give myself the leisure of cutting it wonky from the beginning, then the end, I often will cut it just off center, and I love it. I love it. So this one, I can tell you where it goes. This one's going to go in this far corner. It's the only black block there is. Now I know this is not black exactly, but it's the darkest block here. Now over in this corner, it's going to be half black and half dark green. In this corner, it's going to be a very dark red. So there may be a little piece of black in that. But my outside edges are the dark areas. So this one's going to go right here. So by making it like this, I already have my layout too. So, and with some of these, I think I'll be able to identify, like some of them are going to be light green plus light yellow. Okay, I think I'll know that. But anyway, so now that block is done. But these are so much fun. If you decide to make this scrap quilt, consider getting some design like I did with these hearts that make a fun center. But here's all my greens are done. Now I have to do dark green, light green, and green combos, but here are my purples. Let me make sure I didn't mess this up. Remember the blue that had the red rectangle in it? Well, I appliqued over the red. The red is still there, but I appliqued a heart over it. So, because I made this very first before I decided to put the heart in. Oh, I wrote with pencil down here how many blocks of red I had. And I will take my white eraser. Remember, I tell you, never erase on fabric with red or blue erasers. Only use white, because the red or blue will leave the eraser dye in your block. So the white erasers, I swear by them. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on them. You can get just white erasers wherever you get your school supplies. So here's my red. And I have so much fun. When I get bored, I switch to a different color. So here are my yellows. So anyway, this is coming along wonderfully, and I'm going to see this to the finish. So I'm slowing us down a little bit by not doing as many projects, but I want to get things done because the first couple years I tried to introduce a new project every week, and I have tons of UFOs. But isn't that, look at that, isn't that neat? I love rainbows and I love the rainbow colors. Ah, that's neat. So your mowing kid just finished. Yeah, she's got a lot of fur babies. Real sweet little kitty fur babies. All right. So now I'll close that. So now you know what I'm working on. And as I mark down this list, it's very easy much easier for me to read this, to know what I have to do than that. And my handwriting has gotten so awful. That's why I do so much on the computer, because even I can't stand. And guess what? The big surprise was that I will be doing a lot of turquoise block for this quilt. I had no idea, but the inspiration has, it's so good at going from blue to yellow, they have green, and blue to green, they have turquoise. So it's really nice. So I think it's time to move on to the big excitement. All right. So, I'm hoping Polly's still here because Miss Polly is thinking of doing Bobbin Lake. So, I saw this online. And because I was looking at my lace pillow is like 23 inches, too big to sit on a lap desk in front of the TV. So you would have to sit at a special table to do that. So I saw this and thought, oh, that's cool. Oh, right. Hold on, guys. My plug wasn't plugged in. Huh. Hold on. Let me make sure it's plugged in and turned on. I'm getting a warning that it's slow. So something must not be plugged in right. No? Huh. It should be good. Hold on, please. Oh. All right. Hopefully it's fine because everything's plugged in. Who knows? We could be having a little bit of a brownout. So I'm sure everybody's air conditioning is running like mad. So I saw this. Well, first I thought I could build one of those, or we could build one of those. Let me be careful of that. Because this bobbin pillow, and the place I found it, these are made in Spain. They are around $200 and then $160 for shipping. Oops. So, I thought we can make this. We can make this. And I had an idea. And I said, you know what? I was looking at what the new bobbin lace pillows are made out of, and they're made out of polyethylene foam, which is what the fun noodles, the same foam that fun noodles are made of. So I said, if I take fun noodles, I can make the bolster pillow. So what I did is I first just drew this. I just sat and kind of drew and basically figuring out what size did I want. So I got pretty excited about this, but then I drew him a better, more accurate. What I did with my fun noodle is I put some two thinner sheets of polyethylene foam around it to make it wide enough, to make it the size I wanted. So then I drew around that so I would have a good shape. And then we made a shopping list of things we needed. And off to the store we went. Wednesday, we went to the store. And so I made him this. So then I started. Oh, here's his list. Here's his list too. So we went to. I looked online first, and we had to get a few things from Home Depot and a few things from Lowe's. And so what I wanted it to be very stable. And we got a plywood with a finished side it is called blonde wood. And you notice Deb Mastronardi, yes. And I even had Mark sign it underneath because I'm hoping this will turn into a little family heirloom if anyone wants to try it. But he ended up finding these special threaded bolts to put in the knob and in the center of this bolster. And let me show you this. We spent under 50 to make this, including the trim, the pretty little white trim, and the flannel. But let me okay. He ended up getting a threaded bolt. And in here, you can barely see a brass nut that's also threaded.